Hello, beautiful souls. I am Iris. Today, I would like to share with you a few highlights from a reading I recently did for a new client. He is happy to share his story with you, as none of his circle really believes in fortune telling, but we agreed not to use his real name just in case. For the purposes of this video, we settled on the name Ross. So Ross's story is like this. Ross donated blood a few years ago, and in his country, it is possible to subscribe to a research program where if you have blood taken for any purposes, a small sample of it can be used for genetic research that helps with the treatment of rare blood-related diseases. If during the examination of your blood, the researchers find something unusual, you can also be contacted for awareness purposes or for further research. So it happened that after almost 8 years of silence, Ross was contacted through this program to be informed that his blood contains a gene that has been related to an illness which he or one of his children may develop later in life. The advice was to get the whole family tested and monitor the situation to make sure that if anything develops, it will be caught early enough. The older 2 sons of Ross are grown up and have also been blood donors in the past. They are also involved in the same research program, so the 2 of them also received a message about the finding. Ross's youngest son is just about to attend college in the beginning of next school year, and he has not been a donor before, so he did not receive any letter. Now comes the difficult part. This whole story has prompted Ross's wife to come forward and admit that when she was in her early 30s, she had had an infidelity to Ross, and their youngest son is not biologically his. The wife has been extremely sorry about this over the past 18 plus years and sees this as the biggest and ugliest mistake of her life. But she also never gathered the guts to tell Ross out of fear that she would hurt him deeply and that this would affect their already existing children that both of them love so much. Here is a part of Ross's reaction to all this. I will read out the key part of his email. So, Iris, my youngest son, and I admit this with a heavy heart, the child that I have the best relationship with and the one that I love the most is not mine. My wife has been a wonderful wife to me over all these years, even in the times when I haven't been my best, financially, mentally, or in my attitude to her. She has also taken an incredible care of all our boys and our home, and she has really been the light of my life over these past 35 years. I am extremely shaken by what I have just learned, but I feel like I am crazy for what my feelings have been. I see no point to divorce my wife at this time, and my 3rd son, whom I love so much, is just about to start college. I do not want us to tell him about what my wife has just told me because I want him to study well in college, and I do not want him to think that I will abandon him, either with my support or financially. I want to pay for all his education and see him develop into a full human being. I understand that he is not mine, but at the same time, I do not feel it is fair for his life to be ruined because of his mother's mistakes. I want to tell him, maybe once he graduates, so he will just know the truth. But for now, I want him to still think that I am his father. As for my wife, I am not sure what to do about her, but like I said, divorcing her is not great. What do the beans say? Is there anything you can see about this? And I am not discussing it with anyone in the family or with my friends yet because I kind of know what they will tell me. So after receiving Ross's email, I replied with a picture of his bean cast and a message that read the following. Please note that I have omitted sections that contain his personal information and I have summarized the reading into sections so it is easier to transcribe for a video. But essentially, here it goes. Dearest Ross, firstly, thank you so much for confiding in me and seeking more information from a spiritual perspective before you bring more participants into an already extremely complex situation. Revealing this truth to your family and friends can make things more complicated for you, should you choose the path of healing and forgiveness. I feel honored to be a part of your path that you have chosen with wisdom and compassion, reacting not with the primality of your ego, but with prioritizing the best interest of a vulnerable young person instead. I cast the 72 beans for you, holding you, your wife, and your 3 sons in my thoughts, and a story emerged in their patterns. The reading was colored by the energies of the spirit, and the revelation progressed under the keywords of guardian, bridge, self-love, joy, and progression. Let me interpret these patterns for you, dear. You deserve all the truth that is available to you, and my guidance prioritizes your well-being with no judgment. Guardian, an arc of black and white beans appeared at the outer edge of the cast, surrounding the rest from one side. This tells me you are, and will remain, the guardian spirit of your family. Your watchfulness and quiet dedication are a shield that even truth cannot break. You protect your youngest son, not just with your decisions, but with your unwavering love. This is a power stronger than blood. On the other side of the cast, there is an arc, but it is very fragmented. This arc is your wife, as I see it, and if a few beans were moved around, this arc would become full. Your wife has a lot of her own healing to do, and she may find peace in an apology, since the apology pattern is also visible. But I get a message that this apology is not for you. It is more closely located to your children that I see here, and also to herself. Bridge, a bridge of speckled beans, crosses the cast, linking past and future, sorrow and hope. You are the bridge, Ross, the person holding the family together as you all move through these revelations. The beans show that while this white bean, symbolizing change, is inevitable, the bonds you have built by your actions will endure. But the bridge is all in your hands, and you have the power to build it or break it. My advice is to do so exclusively through your own moral compass, and not through societal expectations or the pressure to be perfect, both personally or as a family. In either case, I see an unconventional arrangement that will work for you, so I encourage you to think outside of the box. Self-acceptance. Clusters of tan and purple beans in the center of the spread speak of vulnerability and transformation. These beans remind you that your pain and doubts are valid, but they also say, embrace yourself, even if you feel you are flawed. It is important to first accept yourself with love and not to question yourself, and in this way, you would be able to provide the same for others if you so choose. Out of this self-acceptance, true healing can grow. You are enough exactly as you are. Joy and progress. At the heart of the reading is a ring of pink, white, and purple beans, signs of joy rising out of sorrow and of forward motion. By continuing to support and love your youngest son, you bring joy not only to him, but to yourself, and set your family on a path toward a greater future and pride. Your youngest son. Now, Ross, let me speak to what the beans say about your youngest boy. Near the center, a very unusual bean stands out, what I call the rooted heart bean. This bean is deep purple, almost black, but with a blush of pink at one tip. It appears rarely, but when it does, it means something truly special. This bean tells me that no matter what truths may come to light in the future, Your son's heart will remain rooted in you as his true father, even if one day he is told of his biological origins. The love and care you have given him over his entire life will not be undone. The rooted heart being also suggests he may be curious, but I do not see him seeking out or forming a real connection with his biological father. The bean's position, turned gently away from the edge of the cast, shows that your son feels his real family, his home, is with you. There may be a moment of wondering, but there is no strong external pull here. Message to you. Ross, what I see most clearly is that you are the foundation on which your family rests. Through your choices, you can stay or leave. But if your mission is to support a person that you love and not to break a bond with a person you may be deeply hurt by, then you can consider a path of moving forward together, not alone. I see you do not wish harm upon anyone, so I will say this. It is always possible to leave later if your heart changes, and it is always possible to break things, but it is not always possible to undo your decisions if you act in haste. Either way, your youngest son knows who his father is, and receiving the truth earlier or later will not change that. If you are able to find a moment to reveal the truth earlier than his college graduation, it is always advisable not to keep secrets until yet another pivotal moment. You have nothing to fear about his love. Your two older sons are grown men that have been raised and nurtured with your own values, and you are also likely to find support in them. It is very likely they will be proud of you, and they will not recede. It would be key to communicate your love for them, too, as you have already done it over the years. I also feel that your wife has experienced true remorse, but also think for yourself if her care could have been a guilty compensation for her former actions. I feel you would know the answer to this the moment you hear it. If this statement makes you angry, then you know she is true. And if it makes you empty and sad, then you know it is just a facade. Continue as you have for now until your emotions subside and you begin to feel more clarity. Protect, nurture, guide, and love. You are the guardian and the bridge, and your son will always see you as his true father, regardless of which way you will go. With compassion and my deepest wish for a quick resolution in your favor, Iris. Get your own reading from me on any difficult or wonderful topic you are facing. The link to my online shop is in the description. What would you advise, Ross, from your experience? Have you ever been a part of anything similar? My channel is new. If you wish to help it grow and reach more people, like, comment, and subscribe. You can find more details about my services in my channel description and the descriptions of my videos. I wish you love and peace, and I am always here for you. Take care and see you soon.